Houston attorney Tony Buzbee says he has filed 7 more lawsuits against rap music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The allegations made by 3 men and 4 women claim they were sexually abused and exploited. In a social media post, Buzbee says the cases range over a period of 20 years. Right now, Combs is in federal custody facing trial in May on racketeering and sex trafficking charges that date back to 2008.
But have the tables turned, ladies and gentlemen, though they have, because just recently it was announced that Tony Buzbee has to withdraw as the plaintiff's attorney of record in the matter, his lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Gavin Reshaw, and we have a lot to talk about. Of course, is this story, plus the Breakfast Schlubs and Jess Hillarious having a fallout, and is segregation coming back. All this and more on Random Topic Thursdays, ladies and gentlemen, the hottest live stream in the cosmos of social media. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. All right, what's going on, family? Here we go. We in May 5 on X Rumble. Oh yeah, I got that. I got Facebook. We got this live stream. This is the hottest live stream on the Queen feed. And yeah, Queen can't. Okay, let me stop. I ain't no rapper. I know that. We are live. Welcome. Good night and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. We are here, the hottest live stream in the cosmos of social media. Welcome. I'm your host, yours truly, G Rich, Gboot2786. If you're watching via X, via Facebook, via ScrewTube and Rumble, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure we're trying to get more subscribers on Rumble. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you subscribe to Random Topics directly on Rumble. We need 1,000. I need all of my followers that are here on YouTube, because I have a lot of followers via X, people that watch me on via X, but I have a lot of followers here on YouTube. We're stuck at 1,600 followers. I need everybody to just start transferring, going to Random Topics on Rumble, and subscribing to that channel right now, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get this thing going. As you know, ScrewTube has us on a shadow ban and has demonetized the channel. So whatever help you can give to move over, that would be great. All right. So let's talk about it. We're going to get into this. So we were talking about, of course, Tony Buzbee. I mentioned him because he's one of our topics tonight. But of course, the biggest topic we have tonight is the Trump administration removing anti-segregation clauses. We're going to discuss that in a minute. And Jess Hillarious and the Breakfast Schlubs, they're having their drama yesterday. Jess Hillarious went on Instagram with her lace front all out, airing out her frustrations, I guess, at being replaced by the new kid on the block, Miss Lauren. And I don't watch The Breakfast Club. I stopped watching it a couple of years ago after they had Lauren LaRosa. That's her name. A couple of years ago, The Breakfast Club had on Malik Yoba, and I'll talk about that we'll get to that in a minute. I'll tell you what. I won't talk about it just yet. But Tony Buzbee, I want to get to this topic.
Houston attorney.
So it was brought to my attention just recently, about a day ago, that Tony Buzbee is going to withdraw as plaintiff of record in the lawsuits against P. Diddy. And it came out that Tony Buzbee is not a member of good standing with the Southern District of New York, I believe. That's where the lawsuits had been filed against Diddy in federal court. And, when you are, I believe he's a member of he might be a member of the New York State Bar. I know he's a Texas lawyer. But if he's not with a certain district, and when you're an attorney, of course, you're registered and only licensed for that particular state of which you took the bar exam in. Of course, you can do what's called pro hoc vice, which is you have another individual who's licensed in good standing represent for you and for the court to allow you to practice in that district. Well, they're saying that Buzbee, there was an issue that he was not in good standing. And we have news here that you can listen to, courtesy of Time Entertainment. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I'm just going to play the audio for you, so fair use, so we can all hear what they have to say. So listen. Fair use. You can give me a thumbs up. Okay, it looks like. Okay, it looks like this is just a video. Nobody is giving any commentary. But I'll just give you the scoop on it. I'm going to read the Vibe article we have here about Tony Buzbee. So what happened is that according to Business Insider, I hate when you get news used to be free. The hell you got to actually pay for offer now. Ever since we've gone to electric, it's been terrible. You buy a newspaper, it was like $1. That's it. Now the newspaper's gone up to $2. And now on top of that, you got to be a subscriber to this shit. All right. Even Billboard has it. Watch, Billboard wants you to subscribe. Yeah, not allow ads. So I'm gonna pause it on this site, but they even say when you go further down, watch, Billboard does this, so you can't even read. Yeah, you gotta log in and subscribe. According to what I just read in the headlines, Jay-Z filed a grievance against him, and I think that's what started saying he wasn't a licensed attorney in the state or in the federal district. But since a grievance has been filed against Tony Buzbee, he has withdrawn as counsel of record from the lawsuits. And he said, quote, "I made an error in judgment by failing to inform you that I was not admitted to the Southern District," he said. He further expressed that his admission status has become, quote, "a distraction, detracting from the focus on securing justice for his clients." Consequently, Buzbee filed motions to withdraw from 15 federal cases against Combs in the Southern District of New York. Despite his withdrawal, the plaintiffs continue to be represented by other legal teams, ensuring that the lawsuits proceed without interruption. So In October of 24, we know that Buzbee said he was representing over 100 individuals alleging misconduct by Sean Combs, including 25 minors. One notable case involved allegations of both Sean Combs and rapper Sean Jay-Z Carter, accusing them of assaulting a 13-year-old girl in 2000. However, that lawsuit was voluntarily dismissed in February of 2020, with Jay-Z's legal team labeling the allegations as baseless. Buzbee's withdrawal from the federal case does not mark the end of his involvement in related litigation. He continues to represent clients in state courts across New York and plans to file additional cases in California and Nevada. Addressing his withdrawal, Buzbee clarified, "I personally withdrew, not my firm, from the few federal court cases we have on file until such time as my admission is cleared up." He emphasized his commitment to his clients, stating, quote, "I'm still attorney in charge in all of the New York State cases and intend to file cases very soon in Nevada and California." Well, let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. Most of you, if you're not aware, if you've just been following me, the channel, know I wrote this book that is available on Amazon, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby. And it's available still on Amazon Kindle. And so in the book, and you all can get it, you can download it on Amazon Kindle. The book is about how social media, mainstream media basically, led to the indictment of Dr. Cosby, and how we often make rushes to judgment with cases like this without any evidence, without any protocol, without going through the formal steps of due process, how guilt by accusation occurs instead of guilt by conviction. And in what was happening to Dr. Cosby was the prototype now for other individuals, other Black celebrities, because now, regardless how you feel about Sean Combs, it's not about Sean Diddy Combs. I look at this and I'm listening to what Mr. Buzbee is doing, and he's saying he's planning to file lawsuits in California and Nevada. And that has me thinking, how, because what I saw with Dr. Cosby, and many people, if you recall, those states that he mentioned, like California and Nevada, they have, and New York, which is where he has those lawsuits filed, they have what is called look-back laws. And with these look-back laws, and especially at New York, it allowed individuals who claim to be victims of sexual assault cases to bring forth their accusations, even some decades later. So something that may or may not have happened in 1975, you can bring up in 2025, over 50 years later. That happened to Dee Snider. I don't know the status of his lawsuit, but Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, he was sued in 2023 from something that happened supposedly in 1989. L.A. Reid got hit with the lawsuit. The former governor of New York, who's planning on running for mayor, which I hope he loses by a landslide, Andrew Cuomo, was accused of something. I stated L.A. Reid. A few others. Dr. Cosby got sued. So Cuba Gooding Jr., I believe, also got sued. So a bunch of people got sued. And it opened the door. And what you had, especially from these movements, these Me Too movements, they allowed a lot of this stuff to take place. They allowed it by not screening and vetting all of these people, because in a society that says we should just believe all women and nothing else, well, that is not the sign. That is not how due process works. People may say, Gavin, you're being victim shaming. Gavin, you got to support the victims. You support the victims by doing due process. Due process has to be done for all parties for justice to prevail. And it should be timely. There's a reason we have a statute of limitations in this country. It's not to just protect It's to protect the victim, but it's also to protect the defendant. You have to come soon with this evidence. And so Buzbee, who's not licensed in the Southern District, he filed this lawsuit. I believe the case is proceeding because through his firm, because more than likely Tony Buzbee, I'm sure he has other attorneys who are in his law firm who also got waived in or licensed, I'm assuming, in that district, which is why he's able to move forward with his firm is able to move forward with the case. So he has other counsel that, or he may have other counsel that is licensed in the Southern District of New York and can actually probably experience, and they may have been the ones who pro hoc vc'd him into that district, or rather say not that district because he didn't do the paperwork if he wasn't licensed, and they filed these lawsuits. So he is stepping down personally, but is still having his law firm represent them. So this, in a sense, is this a victory for Diddy? Yes and no, in a sense that, yes, it's coming out. I think that from a lot of people, Tony Buzbee seems to be an ambulance chaser of an attorney. This is the guy who represented Deshaun Watson's alleged accusers, his accusers, a couple of years ago, and they got settlements out of it. It seems the motto or the modus operandi for Mr. Buzbee is almost very similar to what I saw Gloria Allred, or Gloria Awful Red, as I call her, and her daughter Lisa Bloom, where they go after high-profile black men with money. So don't have to have evidence, don't have to have proof. We just say you did it and throw out how many countless accusers. He's filing lawsuits in California and Nevada. And y'all notice, though, there has not been any criminal, and I'll just say this, and whether you like P. Diddy or not, notice there are no criminal charges in those states. And then specifically with those states that I mentioned, though they have the look back laws, they changed the statute of limitations after the Cosby conviction. They changed the statute of limitations in Nevada. They changed the statute of limitations in California and New York. There's a reason they did that. New Jersey, I believe they did the same thing. And they used black men. They used Dr. Cosby as the litmus test. That's how black people have always been treated. Going back even less to Jack Johnson, when he was the first black heavyweight champion, and they passed the Mann Act to go after him. And subsequently, what they did with O.J. Simpson, when he was accused of sending two young white people to the afterworld, they changed domestic violence laws across the country in terms of how it was set up, how those laws were structured. It was because of O.J. Simpson. Also, what happened with that O.J. Simpson case is it just also said you couldn't bring up race in criminal cases. That was another thing. It made it prejudicial for that. And but the positive thing about the O.J. Simpson case is how we handle DNA. That's the most positive thing I could say that came out of that case. Now, well, yeah, and she's clapping back against Diddy because they said, I think Cassie had some words about Diddy regarding the lawsuit and why he settled it. She responded to him, yeah. She responded to Kanye West because Kanye was supporting Diddy. Yeah, Kanye is just nuts. You get now look, you going back and forth with Kanye West, you basically going back and forth with yourself. You're not gonna win on that. Kanye got everybody know Kanye got bipolar disorder. Everybody know something's wrong with Kanye. Supposedly, I saw his wife is about to divorce him again. They're saying she's gonna get his new wife. I think she's just as crazy, just walking around here showing everything like nothing. She's supposed to get like $1 billion. They're saying, I don't know how it's true that she's gonna get $1 billion settlement. But yeah, Kanye was dissing Jay-Z's kids. You know, Kim and Kanye, yeah, they got about 4 kids together. Yeah, and they're going through issues with children, and that's tough. That marriage stuff is tough, man. That divorce is even worse. Right. Well, what they're doing with that spirit, and yeah, just please be careful on the comment section. I'm shadow banned already. You're gonna put me on eclipse ban now. But you know what they do with these with that is that with that spirit is that because they have that video that came out, everybody's going to be thinking about Diddy and what he did to Cassie in that hotel and how he didn't pay. So whatever accusations are coming towards Diddy, do y'all honestly believe he's going to get a fair shake? Y'all think they're going to give him a fair trial? Look at that evidence and what he did. Hell no. That's not going to happen. I highly, it's because people, and I know this because I've been in court rooms before lots of times. Well, I think you did, while I don't know you did this or not, I know you did something here. So you got to be a bad guy. So I think you did it. And that's not how the rule of law works. The rule of law works whether you can prove by the evidence, whether the state by the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt has proven the guilt of the accused. That's what our courtrooms are for. Unfortunately, we have moved away from that, or maybe we haven't even been that in the first place. But we'll see how this goes. Smash up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Smash up the likes. Smash up the likes. From reading that bill of indictment, well, remember the prosecutor, the federal prosecutor that was reading the bill of indictment, it looked like a whole nothing burger to me as an attorney because they were focused more on the damn lotions and the baby oils than anything. They treated the baby oils like he had bricks of cocaine. I mean, they treated him like they thought Diddy. You would have thought Diddy was the Pablo Escobar of Astrogel and all of this stuff. He was the Pablo Escobar of baby oil. I'm like, damn. Diddy doo-doo. So we're going to go ahead and keep this thing rolling, ladies and gentlemen, of course. So let's talk about this. So I'm going to get into the Breakfast Club drama that's going on. Smash up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe to Random Topics on Rumble. Can you please hit that share button? Where are my people on X? My family on X. I usually have more people on X than this. Yeah, I came on earlier than expected. Y'all know I come on usually around 7 or 8. I want to do an early show because I got somewhere I'm going to be in a little bit. So let's talk about this. So earlier this past week, I guess there had been some drama on the Breakfast Club between Jess Hillarious, as Corey Holcomb calls her, and Charlamagne Envy and Lauren LaRosa, who was her replacement while Jess Hillarious was on maternity leave. So she had a baby, was on maternity leave, and I know Jess Hillarious actually used to be on the Breakfast Club, I think via video. And so what they had her, you know, Jess Hillarious came in and replaced Angela Yee, who I didn't think Angela Yee really is that good. But I was never really a fan, and of so much of the Breakfast Club. I used to like the show when they would have Dr. Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed, Claude Anderson, and a few others come up to the radio station. Now it's become and give great conversations. Now it's become just gossip. It's become a shit show up there. And they replaced Angela Yee with Jess Hillarious. I think a couple of years ago, because Angela Yee left the station. And I remember when Angela Yee, I'm going to get to that point in a minute. Let me pass on that. But Angela Yee was even talking greasy about DJ Envy and Charlemagne and how they treat women and so forth. And I'm going to get to that a little bit later. But I wasn't really a big fan of hers. And not of the Breakfast Club of all of them, because then Charlemagne started to do, of course, become a shill for the Democratic Party. And Charlemagne in particular, I remember he went at when he had Joe Biden on the Breakfast Club. Remember a few years ago, you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And he didn't say anything about that. And they had Larry Elder, is a big coon. But Larry Elder, I have to give credit where credit is due. He outright schooled Charlemagne, Envy, and the others at the Breakfast Club about what happened with Joe Biden. And I agreed with him on that. Some stuff, black people, we tend to be conservative to a fault. But where we disalign and move from the Republicans is when, they ignore us, and the Democrats take us for granted. And the Republicans tend to, ignore black people and ignore our issues and not really be concerned about us. But what happened with this election, and particular with Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, is that we saw through the BS. Blacks saw through the BS, and everybody really saw through the BS of the Democratic Party, I should say. How they were treating Black Americans, but also how they forced Kamala Harris onto the Black community. She was not a popular person. She was not popular to be president. She was a last-minute replacement nobody voted for. And they threw their weight behind her. And what made things worse with me with the Breakfast Club, if you remembered, I was going to get it to this point. They had Malik Yoba on the Breakfast Club with 4 transgendered individuals. I don't know if y'all remember that. I remember it vividly. And how they were talking about straight people and the stuff they were just saying about basically ignoring biology made absolutely no sense. And that's when I decided the Breakfast Club is not something I'm really not going to mess with. Now, when it comes to Jess Hillarious, Charlemagne the God, and DJ Envy, so Hillarious went on IG, and that's questionable. Hilarious. She went on Instagram Live. I believe this was Tuesday, and went in on her male counterparts and how she was being treated like nobody had her back. And so yesterday they decided to air out their grievances on live, and Envy checked her about stuff she said. And this is part of why she went live on Instagram Live. I'm just going to play this.
What you mean we don't have your back?
I have more.
This is a segment from the show. So this is when it got heated. Hold on.
Yeah, explain how we don't have your back.
Okay, all right. So the narrative, like I said, with the online ish, that's what I said. Y'all ain't nobody trying to clear up no narrative about nothing. Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah, I at first, no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. Nah, I wasn't too fond of her when I came back, because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I pick her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't never leave. Then, all right. Cool.
So she's mad that Lauren basically did a better job than she was. Because when I heard she read the segments, I stopped listening to it. But from what everybody says, she's horrible. And even I've listened to her sometimes. I don't find her to be that great as commentary. I don't feel like she offers anything meaningful to the show. That's just me. Now, Jess Hillarious, I don't even think she's that funny. I haven't seen really a favorite show or joke that she's done. But Jess Hillarious has 5.7 million followers on Instagram. which makes her popular, which means she has a following. So that's no joke. So when she has a following like that, they're going to put her in positions like this because they know she can bring an audience, which is what it is. Although you can have look at Amy Schumer, you can have an audience and it's not going to be great. So hold up, let's finish.
Cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff.
Yes.
Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Who said that? Because the internet said
what
that?
are we talking about? No. This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we worry about the comments? And these are people that enjoy the show and watch the show. It's not all about Instagram. It's YouTube. It's like we have people that have been watching the show. Yeah, she's great at what she do. That's why I picked her to fill in for me. But when I came back, it's like, what's going on? If she's gonna be a fourth voice, why she only got to be a fourth voice?
Correct me if I'm
my
wrong.
segment.
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interviews.
She was going to be the senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Lauren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions.
Lauren actually she worked over at TMZ, which TMZ is like the largest, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like the largest news media outlet. That's Harvey Levin's thing. They're gossip. The 30 mile, they're into that gossip stuff too. But yeah, the 30 mile zone. So she's actually she just left there. She's a professional. She's actually done a fantastic job from what I've heard from all people say. She could actually read the news. Jess Hillarious, they say, has trouble with it. And you know, Jess Hillarious and the Breakfast Club, a lot of people were calling him out a couple of weeks ago because they were mocking the little boy, DJ Daniel, who Trump brought up and made him an honorary Secret Service agent. Or not honorary Secret Service, but was it National Police? They gave him an honorary badge, and he's been battling cancer. And Jess Hillarious and the Breakfast Club, they started talking about his hair. He's been battling brain cancer. And you're talking about the kid's hair? All that fake ass. She's the last person to be talking about somebody's hair.
Putting the news in my line?
I thought you was.
She was on air.
They told her don't step in this room.
Yes, but I thought you was using her on purpose.
What? You thought I was using Lauren on purpose?
Yes.
No, what are we talking about? No. She didn't leave when I came back. The first day we had a whole situation like, all right, look, this was going to happen. And when it's time for us to roll, it changed. No, the first question was about, the only person who asked me about my baby maternity leave was Envy. All right, I walked in. She addressed the hate in the comments. That was the first thing she addressed. When I came back, I'm like, what the hell would make her want to think I want to talk about that?
Y'all talk off air, though,
so,
right?
yeah. We started talking off air. We started to
But I'm
talk
saying even
off
prior
air.
to you even coming back.
So then I felt uncomfortable that first day. So I'm like, all right, look. Thea was like, all right. Well, we'll just take her off air. She was back the next week. All right, cool. Because there was a voice. Y'all wanted her on air. There was a voice. They wanted her there. They wanted her here. There's a place for Lauren in the show. All right, cool. If there's a place for her on the show,
you wanted her
let's
here
do
too,
it
though.
Another way. Yeah.
Because you said you wanted to change the segment from Jess with the Mess to the Lauren.
That was eventually, okay. even when it came down to it still being called Jess with the Mess, and then I'm introducing her to introduce stories. That was pointless and it was stupid. It's no Jess with the Mess. Just make it Brown Girl Grinding or Lauren with the latest or Lauren's Legal Corner. I'm giving ideas. I'm like, yo. I even with the Taylor, change that. Take that Jess with the Mess off of there. I feel like I'm getting credit for something I'm not doing. And it's stupid because this is not what she does is not Jess with the Mess. I read headlines and I give commentary. I say what people thinking.
I agree. Can I ask a question?
What I'm saying? Yes, she's more of a reporter. She's journalism.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Why didn't you wear the do-rag this morning?
Because
why you joke so much, man?
What you mean? I'm
not a
just
joke,
and it's not
man.
a do-rag, it's a
not a
silk
joke,
scarf,
man.
nigga. But it's not.
It's
It's
not-
not
it's
a
not a
joke.
joke,
I'm
man.
if you
serious.
gonna bring it to the radio, I want to laugh.
It's not a joke, but
okay?
see,
Nah, but
it's not a joke.
It's a serious issue about
It
it.
is a serious issue.
Okay,
And
let me just sit
now-
back and watch it because I'm not Joe Clark.
He was really upset about how Hilarious went on Instagram blasting him. So she's upset because a lot of people have been saying that she's not a good host. She's not good at what she does. So, and they preferred Lauren.
Clark.
because it's not.
I am actually. Give me my baseball bat.
No, it's now Envy. That's what I'm saying. No, nobody has even tried to clean up the narrative that I'm a villain. Man,
You're not a villain. Who said you a villain?
What, yo, stop acting like you don't live in them comments too, Charlotte. Stop acting like you don't understand.
What do I always tell you? I say stop listening to the internet. Stop listening to the comments. Stop listening to the folks on YouTube. Don't let them trick you out your position. What you did last night is what they want you to do, and you can't let the internet win.
No, but look, it's not even about what they want me to do. I did last night what I wanted to do, what I felt like I should have been did. I've been asking questions.
The internet loves mess.
Ben.
And one of the easiest ways to create mess is to pit people against each other, especially two women. And I don't dwell in that. And y'all know that.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. You let the internet dictate what's going on. We've had conversations, and this is the thing. This is why I thought it was corny, and it's just me personally. I thought it was corny because we have conversations up here. We just have a meeting. If you had an issue, a problem, a situation, or something that you felt, why you ain't bring it to the team? When you came back, Jess, I pulled you to the side. I said, Jess, if you feel uncomfortable, if you don't want Lauren in the room, this is your show. We can make that the change whenever you want. Did I not say that to you?
Yeah, you did. It is not about wanting her in the room, yo. It's about the segment. Like it was like y'all.
Have that
if y'all
conversation
wanted
off
her,
air. If you had a problem, say it to us. We had a meeting yesterday.
I hope they have videos running. I know they usually record themselves because the Breakfast Club comes on BT. I think it comes on Tubi now, which I don't even know if it's fitting for that. But if I were them, I would hope all of those men got, especially Envy and Charlamagne, that those cameras are running even during the commercial breaks, because Jess Hillarious sounds like somebody, this is someone that's going to cause a problem. This is going to be this is an HR problem. The way that she's acting. Don't think for a second, a year or two from now, she leaves and wants to file a lawsuit, because she even made a remark about how women are treated on there. She said something. She brought Angela Yee into the conversation on our Instagram Live.
This is off air. What
Not
is we
like
talking
that.
about?
Not like nobody having my back, because we have your back. As far as the Corey Holcomb thing, y'all been beefing for 11 years.
I'm not worried about it's not even about
you worried about comments. And you worried about what people say after.
I'm worried about
in
the
comments,
perception
man.
and my reputation. I'll be on the
They've
show.
been itching on me for 15 years. They've been itching on Charlamagne for 15
But
years.
that's on you.
Rightfully
And the
so.
things that
I
people
don't
itch
care.
on me for is on me.
I don't let it affect me because I know who I am as a person. I don't give a F what them people say in the comments.
Oh, come
I know
on.
who I am.
Come on.
I know what I do.
Well,
You let them people get in the comments and F with you. You're great at what you do.
Everybody simmer down.
Like you are dope.
She's very
and you
dope.
let them people piss you off. No, F them niggas. You nice. Like what you do is funny.
I tell her that all the time, on air,
You brought
off
that
air.
energy that we needed to the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And you let a bitch ass person in the comments say something to steer you up. I tell F them niggas.
We don't even know who these people are.
They could be bots and all that.
But,
and we doing it on air when we could have did it behind the scenes. Like I F with you the long way, not on some internet ish. And they hear that through there. That's whack,
This
man.
sounds very light skinned. Well, let's go to the phones. 1-800-585.
Charlamagne trying to be funny. Let me just play this. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what part of what she had to say on her Instagram Live. So y'all can listen to that.
That bitch. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when I'm not one motherfucker ever with this online shit. Like, why the fuck should we have to keep playing it? Man, listen, I know one thing. Angela, you ain't that motherfucking crazy. Not as crazy as niggas try to make out to be. Nah, it's the reason that lady wanted to leave that show. I don't know how she did that shit for 13 years, my nigga. I'm telling you. I don't give a fuck. Y'all already know what's up with me. I feel played with. I'm going to play with niggas. Like, that's just like, come on. I've been quiet a lot. If Jess Hillarious is quiet, it's a motherfucking reason. I always got my motherfucking mouth open. All the time. How about y'all clear some of this shit up for y'all teammate? This shit is ran like a high school. Yeah. It's ran like a high school.
So she's on Instagram Live dissing her employers. You're talking about your employers now and wanting to handle this instead of handling this internally. Breakfast Club or not, if Gavin Reshard had a problem at work, I wouldn't put that shit on the internet. I'm not going to bring it to the internet. If I was fired, that'd be one thing if I didn't have a job. But this is part of the reason why a lot of people think she got fired by the way she was acting. And also that incident that happened a few weeks ago, I just referred to with the little DJ Daniel situation. A lot of people were upset or calling them out about that because Jess Hillarious, from O'Shea Due Jackson to Corey Holcomb, they didn't think that was cool that she did that. Yeah, the people in the comments.
Fair East Side High.
You gotta leave.
Fair East Side High. Before Mr. Clark, though. Like when he first got there. Y'all want a bitch to keep her cool. Look, check this out, yo. Look, man. I get up every fucking day. Every day, and they always talk about you ain't at work. Yeah, bitch, I started picking up more shows. Hell no. That's how I'm getting. Hell no. I have more fun outside the fucking studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy? We supposed to be a team up there, bitch. Not one person.
Everybody, audio yesterday.
Hold up, be quiet. How everybody a real estate agent? How everybody?
Because a lot of the wags do that.
Rihanna for a long time.
Her outfit mattered.
No, listen, hush. This is not a. Just listen. Just please hush. This is not a Taylor Swift football game situation.
Everybody, audio yesterday.
Hold up, be quiet. How everybody?
Yeah, she does that, and Lauren LaRosa even talked about it because she brought this part up. So hold on. I don't want to spend too much time on the Breakfast Club segment, but listen to this part. So they had their grievance out.
It's four voices. Three of us are very opinionated. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Charlamagne. I'm not saying Envy don't got no opinion, but he don't jump in every single time there's dead air. You know what I'm saying? When you overtalk. And it's like the only time you can quiet down is somebody be like, shut up or hush.
My mom don't even tell me shut up, Jess. I'm a grown-ass woman.
And I understand. You could have said that on air right then and there. Or right after when you saying you put me in office. You never put me nowhere to tell me that.
Because the way that I do things when it comes to my job and my career, that's not what we on. And I told you from the jump, I was never going to give that to you.
Okay.
Ever. And did I not? Our first conversation, I said, if I ever have an issue with you, I'm going to handle it in a way where we can get through a conversation because we grown. And regardless, you don't got to love me. You don't got to like me, but we here together. I'm here.
And it's four voices. Three of us are very opinionated. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Charlamagne. I'm not saying Envy don't got no opinion, but he don't jump in every single time there's dead air. You know what I'm saying? When you overtalk. And it's like the only time you can quiet down is somebody be like, shut up or hush.
My mom don't even tell me shut up.
Yeah. They curse on the Breakfast Club. I would have to have some choice words with Jess Hillarious if I was the executive producer. And I believe they even said they did. But yeah, the Breakfast Club, a lot of people were talking about it yesterday. That's why I wanted to talk about this segment in particular. But the show has not been, to me, it's been entertaining. It hasn't been fun. I just think it's just not well done. It's radio even today is dead. Everybody knows it. Talk radio is not the same anymore like it used to be. So people are switching to podcasts where they're more free. You're not censored. You could say what you want. So, and normally I prefer to do my podcast by myself so I don't have to deal with this. But anyway, what y'all think? Y'all make sure you tune up and smash up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And let's talk about our main subject tonight. Our main thing we were discussing now, of course, is the Trump administration bringing back segregation. Trump administration has been removing anti-segregation clauses. Now, what we've seen, because we know that President Trump Donald Trump has been anti-DEI since he stepped in, and he signed over 66 executive orders in just his first 100 days. And one of the executive orders he's done is repealed anything involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that were championed by his predecessor, Joe Biden. And so he's reversed a lot of these policies. He's also trying to dismantle the Department of Education as we speak, although that still has to come through an act of Congress. Now, what we're talking about specifically today in regards to DEI, to the bringing back segregation. We talked about this DEI before. If you recall Tuesday, we talked about how certain, the Arlington National Cemetery removed its Black History segment, and that included removing entries about Black heroes such as Thurgood Marshall, Medgar Evers, and a few others, those men who fought, especially in World War II and Vietnam and so forth, famous Black Americans. And also women and other groups they're saying that they had removed them from. And most recently, and what has been in the news, is they're reporting that the president, because he has been opposed to this DEI, to the DEI programs, most recently, one of his segments that he has here, I'm sorry, and I actually bookmarked it, but now it was on, oh, geez, what did they do with it? They're talking about federal removing ban on segregated facilities in federal contracts. Now, what happens is what they're referring to, ladies and gentlemen. If you read NPR or you read CNN, go to CNN or NBC, and I didn't listen to him, but even Dr. Ritchie, because they're saying because the way that the headlines, if you don't read them carefully, don't read the story carefully, it makes it seem like the Trump administration is bringing back So what happened is, after a recent change by the Trump administration, if you care, I'm sorry, I was reading a text message. It was a recent change by the Trump administration. The federal government no longer explicitly prohibits contractors from having segregated restaurants, waiting rooms, and drinking fountains. So that's what you typically will read when you see headlines. Segregated facilities are no longer explicitly banned in federal contracts. And to be clear, now you read that, most people will think just from that headline, that means Jim Crow is coming back. Or does it? Now, what this law and what people have to realize, this law is, it goes back to an executive order that was signed in 1965 by Lyndon Johnson. And Lyndon Johnson's executive order, which was Executive Order 11246, that was the equal employment opportunity. It was non-discrimination in government employment. And it prohibited discrimination by government contractors and subcontractors. So the contractor and states here will not discriminate against any employee or applicant for employment because of race, creed, color, or national origin. The contractor will take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and that employees are treated during employment without regard to their race, creed, color, or national origin. Now, this is part of affirmative action. This is what was, and I want to step out and put the executive order. This is a copy of it here. so everybody can read where I'm looking at. So what Donald Trump did and what his department is doing, they remove the portion of discrimination with subcontractors. However, there is still something called Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act that specifically states that public accommodations on places of public accommodations, places of interstate travel, and that was done even by the Supreme Court. I believe the case was Harts versus, what's the name of the case? I'm sorry. All right, I don't want to draw a blank, but there have been Supreme Court cases that specifically prohibit discrimination by places of public accommodation. So everybody thinks, do you think that segregation is coming back? The answer is no. This does not, and regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, the spirit of the law and so forth, yes, it's symbolic. Yes, it shouldn't be there, but why he did this, it seems to be, it's because in 2015, when President Obama was in the White House, Barack Obama added gender identity to that executive order as well. So what it seems like, so the order, his memo, that segregation clause also goes with gender identity. And that was back in 2020 when, in 2025, when Trump was sworn back in, he placed this executive order reversing everything, how we're going to defending women from gender ideology extremism and restoring biological truth to the federal government. So part of the segregated facilities aspect, what we're talking about, that clause, that's clause 52.22-21, gender identity has the meaning given by the Department of Labor's Office of Federal Contract Compliance Program, and is found at doi.gov. So they listed it on what that's for LGBTQ. They defined here, and I'm just gonna stop sharing this part of it, this segment here, and I'm going to show you exactly now. I know I'm going back and forth. I don't have different windows up. That would be fun if they could do that on StreamYard. But prohibition of segregated facilities, this clause. So what you read here, they give the definition of gender identity and segregated facilities. So means any waiting rooms, work areas, restrooms and washrooms, restaurants and eating areas, time clocks, locker rooms and other storage or dressing areas, parking lots. So drinking fountains, recreation or entertainment areas, transportation and housing facilities provided for employees that are segregated by explicit directive or in fact segregated on the basis of race, color, religion, sexual orientation, sex, gender identity, or national origin because of written or oral policies or employee custom. The term does not include separate or single user restrooms or necessary dressing or sleeping areas provided to assure privacy between the sexes. So they give the definition of sexual orientation by meaning of the Department of Labor's Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs. The contractor agrees it will not it does not maintain or provide for its employees or any segregated facilities at any of its establishments, and it does not and will not permit its employees to perform their services at any location under its control where segregated facilities are maintained. The contractor agrees that a breach of this clause is a violation of the equal opportunity clause in this contract. So this has been part of the segment has been removed. And specifically it's symbolic. So he's removed that clause of that. And it seems the reason why he's done that is to go after especially the gender identity aspect. Now, to be clear, all businesses that have government contracts and those that do not have to follow federal and state law. That includes the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which means segregation is still illegal by law. So is Jim Crow coming back or going to make a comeback? No. And I'm going to tell you why it will not happen. It won't happen not because they're all lovey-dovey with black people. Well, mainly the white women are. But that is not the reason why that won't happen. The reason why segregation is not going to come back, at least not what we know from the 1960s, and that wasn't that long ago, is because black people spend so much money and make so much money for white corporations and businesses that it would be career suicide for many of these white businesses to actually have separate facilities. Do you all think Foot Locker, for instance, or Nike would want to have segregation? If they said Nike was for whites only, with the NBA athletes, you know what would happen? If the NBA started to press segregation, the NBA is going out of business the next day. The NFL wanted to practice segregation. The NFL is going to shut down within 3 hours. They can't go back to that. Not from a legal perspective, and certainly not from a financial perspective. Now, part of the reason why they have headlines like what you saw on NPR and the way they worded it, it is a fear-mongering thing. It is to fear-monger because when people see something like that, they're going to automatically, oh Lord, we should have voted for Kamala. I told y'all. You see, this is going to be another tactic that the Dems are going to use for next year, is that they're not going to do anything about it, but they're going to use that obviously as motivation to get people out to vote for them. And, you know, right now, the Democratic Party, they have a problem because they're imploding as we speak. They are imploding as we speak. And so I don't know, rather, that this is going to be a good thing for the Dems as a strategy. Now, older black folks, of course, they already voting Democrat. Black women are voting Democrat automatically. So I don't know if it's going to change it or not, or if it's even going to affect the men. But, you know, let's just say this. Do y'all really think Kamala would have done something better? Had we voted for her, do y'all think, yeah, they would have had, of course, she wasn't going to touch stuff like this. Yeah, I know that. But guess what? She wasn't going to give anything extra to black folks. She said that out of her own mouth. She said that out of her own mouth, she wasn't going to give anything to black people specifically. But she promised things for Hispanics, the Dreamers Act. She supported giving monies to them. She supported the Marriage Equality Act. That's specific to a group. When President Obama was in office, the monies and allocations that they gave to Native American groups, and I'm talking about, this wasn't no $1 million that they gave to them. This is lifelong funding, over $500 million that they had approved to some of these tribes. Y'all don't think the president could have done that? Y'all don't think the previous administration, that Kamala couldn't have promised that? And had she done so, I would have supported her. I probably would have support. Well, it'd have been close, but if she had done something or said she was going to give some tangibles to blacks, I probably would have considered voting for her. If she had done it, they could have done it before they left office. Before they left office, this is your last year, Biden. Why don't you do it? Give me something. This country has been going downhill for decades, ladies and gentlemen, even before I was born. And it's evident. And we are reaping what we sow. This is what we get. We are better. This is what we get from Trump. We deserve him. Bill Parcells once said, your record is a reflection of who you are as a team. Well, guess what? It's the same way as president. It's the same way as your candidates. They stink. But I just put the link up for you all to take a look at. What say y'all? Do you think I'm right? Well, I'm going to wrap this thing up, y'all. I wasn't going to be too long of a live stream, but let's deal with this. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. If you love me for my time, pay me for my time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wrap this thing up. I'll see y'all in the next one. Be one, be safe, and be blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're on the Rumble channel. We're moving our channel away from YouTube. So why don't y'all follow me on Rumble? That's the easiest way. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, all right? Thank y'all on X. Thank y'all on Facebook, everywhere. I'll holla. Peace out. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.